everybody, and welcome back to FSL PUBG Mobile Open Ladies 2. And with me is I am Sis Jenny, and I'm with Mochi. Of course, this is not be able to do without our partners Yahoo and Intel. So let's glimpse into our scoreboard right now and take a look who is currently on the top.
Ooh. I like how we both reacted at the same time, like, ooh, 34 points.
I know,
Sheesh,
right?
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
These ladies are out of control.
Yes, definitely. 34 and number one with, I think it's quite a good challenge with Rage earlier. They've got 32. And then followed by Roy Ladies Esports with 16. Grim Sapphire with 12. At least this time we can see a good fight between teams. ATG with 8 at number 4. 5 is S Femi Luna with 6. S Femi Juicy with 4. Trap Girls with 4 at number 7, AI Huntress at number 8 with 2, and S Family Mystique at with and 1 at number 9. So yep, that's the current rundown of the ladies that played earlier on. So we are definitely wanting to see what will happen over in Miramar. Of course, I have a little bit of knowledge or information that I would like to tell you guys later when we fly into Miramar. Because apparently these ladies, some of them actually had a tournament earlier on today, so they are currently now here playing another one. So, bro, that's crazy.
That's just their warm up, to say
Yeah.
the least. Like the earlier tournament is just their warm up. You know what? That's just the thing. This time around, it is already where the game is on, and they're really confident they will be able to conquer the rest of these teams. But yeah, I am quite curious if ever that they'll be able to perform better now that they have the tournament earlier on, like what you said, or would it be that they might be possibility that they're quite famished or tired because of it? But yeah, it might be the two sides of the coin that they had to pitch into. But this time around, it seems we'll be going to the land of Miramar, like what you said, and I'm quite excited of what's going to be the difference here because, like what happened from earlier, Mata ladies, despite of it being such an open area, they secure the higher ground and rummage with the rest of the teams that they're seeing, and they're self-sufficient. Like each and every single individual on their team is self-sufficient, as well as Grim Sapphire, as well as what do you call this? Royal Ladies Esports. It's just that they haven't been able to completely conquer Mana Ladies because of how much prowess, aggression, and high skill in terms of prioritization they currently have.
Exactly. It's really how aggressive they have been playing. And plus, I think it definitely a good way and skill sets for them to train here because there's going to be official tournaments for the ladies battles. And this is a place for them to actually meet one another before they actually meet into the official tournaments later on by PUBG Mobile, of course. So those of you who are here, remember to give a shout out to your favorite teams. I'm seeing a lot of them coming from Roy, and then I see a bit of Meta. So I'm wondering where are the Malaysian comments, because we've got a lot of Malaysian representative, at least for this particular group. We've got AI Huntress as Femi Juicy, Luna, Mystic, and yep, these are your Malaysian representatives. So you guys can drop down your comments and then at least show them, hey, you guys are here for them, and definitely they have showed us a good game, and they're gonna come back even better this time, knowing that okay, so this is how they play. They like to gatekeep, so we're gonna give back to something, because I think that happened towards AI Huntress and also Luna. When they try to come into the circle, they were gatekeep. That they were being guarded by the back. So at least this time around, they know how it's gonna bounce it, how to bounce it off over in Miramar, and they will try to come back with a different strat. So I'm not sure, but at least hopefully we might see something new out of it.
Pretty similar to what happened to DBD Rubbies and Stronghold Savior, right? But that's a different level. But at least there's some resemblance that happened between them. But yeah, it seems like we are waiting for further what do you call this, saturation, or more what do you call this, existence, or what do you call this, more prowess for the side of ESFM, Luna, Juicy, and Mystique, because they have the most numbers here in terms of representatives for their clans. And I guess that will be really great if ever that even one of them decided
Very true.
to
Yeah.
step up, right? But yeah, at least. Yeah, there's just like a couple of points here, rather not just a couple, but it's a bit minimal to say the least. So I am hoping that they'll be able to rack it up for the second map or even the third one, and I am quite excited of what's gonna happen here for Mata Ladies, and hopefully they'll be able to go for a smooth and consistent run throughout the whole series, because once again, they're just really, really crazy ladies in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, it's pretty much crazier that right now we have to keep going on breaks because we're going to come back to you guys in a bit with something happening. So let's check it out what is going to happen. So let's take a little bit of break before we see and fly into Miramar. Hello.
Hi,
And
we're back once again here in the PUBG Mobile Open number 2, wherein we're about to dive into the map of Miramar. And earlier on, we have been able to show you all of the teams that we have right now here for Group B. And so far, who is winning? It is Mata Ladies, Royal Ladies Esports, and as well as Grimm's Sapphire, who has been able to garner 34, 16, and 12 points.
It's very impressive to know that hey, Meta has already showed themselves in the first match. So what are the surprises that it's going to keep for us in the next few match? We're going to wait and see for that. But of course, I did want to share you guys a story. But since we have a bit of time, so why not we just, I also want to share with Mochi. So over in Malaysia, there is this tournament called PMCT, which is the official tournament for tryouts for the next season of PMPL. So there is a
Ooh.
ladies portion already. So this is something nice for FSL also because we have been doing a lot of ladies tournaments and now finally they are getting these tournaments into an official stage. So the thing that I found out is that um as Femi, and you know what? Let's fly over into Miramar before we continue this story, and let's go into sandy dunes of Miramar. And yep, flight route starts from Impala and ends over in the Oasis.
Hmm. I'm quite curious what's gonna happen or what's the continuation of that story.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, actually, so far, yeah, it is quite of a no. I cannot say awkward, but let's just say perhaps sufficient enough. But still, it might actually prohibit some further movements here for some of the teams who will be landing at the upper portion of this map. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting for that. But yes, so this team called Yes Fami Mystique, they had a match earlier on today, similar to AI Huntress. So they went into with neck on neck with one of the biggest team that actually made it through, which is Homeboys Girls. They are not here today, but they are also playing. So they were at number 2 for AI Huntress that I realized just happened a few hours ago,
Hmm.
about 2 hours ago. And then as Femi Mystic also made it somewhere quite up there. I mean, if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can head on to PUBG Mobile Instagram, and then they have a clip on that. So that's how I got to found out. I'm like, hey, they had a tournament earlier, so this will be the same player. So definitely that was a heated up tournament. Knowing that it's an official ground, so knowing that they are here right now, they're gonna bring their A game. Even though we didn't see that happening over in AI Huntress and also S Femi, we want to see that right now because we didn't get to see as much of it in Erangel. Of course, with the big players of Roy and also Mata, who had shown that hey, we are from a different country, but we are showing a good game here. So what's gonna happen here? They're gonna try and do a road rage for now, going to chase around in Picado, and this is again Roy and Mata.
I think I'm chasing. I mean, it seems like they're trying to avoid this car is trying to actively kill them one by one and run over them. Oh my, what's happening here?
Oh, this is not a good ending at all for Roy. We
Oh
did not want to see
no.
this, but Vietnam, the only representative to play, 3 players went down and leaving me. So she has to go and do a passive gameplay. By doing the spray down, will she get a trade off? She will get a trade off and she will get the vehicle. If she realizes this, oh, don't loot here. Just go. Just go. They will push you. Oh no, I don't know if this is a wise decision, but yes, exactly what I said. Go. Don't come here. Don't come here anymore.
Go fly and leave the area because
Yeah.
it's unsafe for you here. But what a racked up match. I mean, we didn't even expect it to actually happen. But yeah, look at that. It's one more remaining member here from Roy remaining. It is me. And it is such of an really conflicting situation because earlier on from our first map, is, as far as we may recall, these two teams are the last teams to live, and now these teams are the first two teams who encountered each other, and Roy is the first one to entirely almost eliminate their whole team. Just one more remaining, right? But
Mm-hmm.
so far, I guess that is a really interesting uh gesture for Mana ladies, because they've been able to rack up those kills that
Mm.
early, and as well as the fact that they've been able to get all the stuff that they need to loot at the same time. So really good start for Mata ladies, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. They won't take any fight seriously. They will try and do whatever it takes to bring them down. But of course, we're seeing the circle almost the same as the previous Miramar. It's going towards the northwest of the current circle. If it is going to follow exactly to where how it close in, it will close into areas of Crater Fields, Hacienda, a little bit of portion of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see the same one. I want to see a different one, at least this time for this circle. Maybe go into the Oasis, but now I hardly see circle into the Oasis, which is right beside Glacoberia. So looking into rotations, I think teams will just proceed with not early engagement. It was for Meta and Roy, it was something that they have to force through. We knew that's gonna happen if two teams were to drop into Picado, and then they
Mm-hmm.
did not aim into the buildings. They went straight into the road. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Road kill, and plus, which enemies or which players will get the guns first.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of people here at the area, or rather, the sides of Los Leones, as well as the lower valleys, which is Trapen. They call this ESFEM. And so far, they've been able to secure the stuff that they're needing, but at the same time, there are quite a few teams who are just in the circle itself. So there's going to be an opportunity for them to actually rotate now, and if ever that they'll be rotating early, that will be much better, because it would lessen the risk of them being gatekeep. They can just go around the perimeter of the circle and go in whenever they feel that it's safe for them to do so. But at the same time, other ladies now, like what you said, is already still here at the area of Picado, and they're just taking their time, really, because they've been able to get a good start already for their team. I mean, they lost one, but I think it's just gonna turn out fine for them, because later on, if ever they'll decide to encounter other teams earlier on, I think it's still sufficient for them to do so, considering of uh how awesome they have played during the first match earlier on.
Mm-hmm. Just looking into, I see a difference of Group A and Group B. I realized that Group A, they would go for early rotations. Oh no, wait, they would go for late rotations, and then they will engage fights no matter where it is, and then they start to only get aggressive when it came to Sandhawk. But over in Group B, I'm seeing the fact that they are more tactical. A whole lot of them will go into the
Mhm.
center. They won't take fights, even though they see one another. They will wait till the last few circles, and then they will start to gun down one another. So that's something that I realized that it's something, or let's just say seasoned players likes to do this kind of gameplay. So I believe very much these teams that are playing Group B, they went for a whole lot of screams, and they are probably ready for that. And of course, I'm not disregarding the fact that team Group A is not like that. It's just that there was this big climatic difference between these two
Yeah.
groups that was playing. So aggressive gameplay, definitely, I would say Group B, when it comes to the last few circles, they were just, you know what, I'm gonna whack everybody. So probably that's the reason why we are seeing a good elimination point for each of these teams. Yeah.
It seems like Group A served as our appetizer, and now we're already at the main dish. Like everything
Yeah.
that's been happening right now is really good, and a really good mix of flavors. Like there's sometimes it's salty, there's sometimes that it's really spicy, but at the same time, there is some bitter ends and sweet ends for each team as well. I guess that is something that is really wonderful during this Group B stage. I mean, yeah, like what you said, it isn't all about not scaling to Group A's uh level of energy from earlier on, but it's just, I think we have been able to explain the fact that they've been able to get their previous tournaments, or rather they already got their primer already. So this already the time wherein they should definitely play at their peak, considering all the factors that we have mentioned earlier on.
You're right, Mochi. So again, we are seeing the similar gameplay here. Everybody's coming into a center. I'm sure they've seen each other's rotations, but they're not making engagement yet. They're just like, I know you're there. If you do give me a pressure fire, I'm not going to reply that. But hey, Mata have already gotten down someone that is trying to get into the perimeters. Um, for sure, or maybe got, yeah, they definitely gunned down somebody along the way. Probably this is coming from Trap, who passed through Picado, and they managed to get themselves 4 elimination points. Yep, there you go. So there's another one which is currently Trap, which is
Mm-hmm.
from the team of Trap, which is Pew, who's currently there. Maybe was doing in the same vehicle as the previous teammate. So she's currently outside of Picado. I'm not sure where she's gonna go, but she has to go by foot at least for now.
Hmm. And so far, they're just gonna rotate. Not that much, but I guess we'll be heading towards the upper portion of our map, considering that's where the circle is. And as well as the fact that they might actually meet someone along the way, but I guess they're gonna distance themselves here, respectively. That is a team of Trap or IT Trap girls from Myanmar.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you're seeing someone here from the side of, what they call this? ESFM, one or rather Roy, just one more remaining person there might actually be meaning against the members of ATG. So I guess that would be the latest. It's pretty similar to what happened to that remaining member from IHC Goddess earlier, which is, I may recall, it's Victoria. But hopefully that she'll be able to do something or rather secure some kills for herself. But right now she's been able to let out some shots already, making them known of her existence.
Whoa, that's an early engagement. At least for someone who gets into the vantage point in crater fields, trying to do that pressure fire. But of course, anybody that is obviously on top of vantage point, they have to make sure that ammunition is enough. But I really like the fact that Mew or me here has collected her ice skins. So this is the ice glacier or M4 ice, and we're seeing AKM ice. So bro, she have definitely invested in her account with this, because these two things is so hard to get. But lucky for me, I'm not sure about you, Mochi. Did you get the M4 Ice? It's such a big hype about it.
Yeah, actually, I do understand because
Yeah,
Emperor has been able to be used, or rather, it's already being used since I don't know
yeah, it's been
the
a
start of
while.
time,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's still this the high build around it is pretty stable and much more forgiving in terms of the air, and much more controllable to say the least in terms of recoil. So yeah, pretty understandable and really love the damage output of it as well. It's just everyone's gun at this point in time. If I'm about to scale this with another FPS game, it's going to be the Vandal to say the least. I'm not gonna say the game itself, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, gotcha. So apparently they invested, and it's really nice to see. And you guys can check out in PUBG Mobile. There is more skins right now. Of course,
Yeah.
in the shout out of PUBG Mobile, we are using the platform of PUBG Mobile. So here we go, looking into teams. Trying to be the lizards. I call these teams the lizards. Why? Because they are using buggies. They're the only
Mm-hmm.
vehicle that is able to reach the peaks of mountains in Miramar is actually buggies. So they are lizards, and somebody just had a great fall. I'm not sure who's that, but they are trying to climb up with that buggy, and it will stick onto the wall. But here we go. We are hearing sprays. I think this is a collision of two teams over at the peak. They sing one another, and true enough, it's AI versus AS. And then there's also Trap here, getting trapped over in San Martin. Accidentally rotated into Grim. So unfortunately, they got to get Roger back down, and only leaving with only one member alive, because Trap, they have been rotating into places where they unfortunately meet opponents. Initially, they met Mata, and then now they have met Grims, and now living with only Ray T. Uh, leaving her behind. She's just like what happened in the previous Miramar. Remember Elvira or something? She's the only person left in DBD,
Mm-hmm.
and she got to go passive gameplay. So I think the similar thing will happen to Ray. So hopefully
Yeah.
she would choose a better place, rather than being in Elvira's spot earlier. It was so pressurizing to hear one
Mm-hmm.
gunshot after another. So we're gonna see just a passive gameplay, at least for Trap, for now, and get her loots up.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be able to avoid any nerve-wracking
Yeah.
situations, or rather even oppressions for her, because you know how difficult it would be for her to actually counter that, considering that she doesn't have anyone to lean on or at least support her. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is something that she has to take into account. But the rest of the teams here are already heading towards our circle with their respective vehicles, but at the same time they might actually have the chance to meet with each other, respectively ATG, Artemis, and as well as one of the teams here from ES
Mm. But I'm liking how Meta is actually rotating. But you know what?
Ooh.
ATG already spray down to um team number three, which is AS Juicy. This is a Fami's family. Yeah, yeah, but Bunga got exploded in that vehicle. So unfortunately, they will have to reverse again. Like, hey, this rotation is not gonna make it because there's somebody already up there, and the rest of the teammates decided to scoot away, go somewhere else, while Maxi here will just enjoy the loots from Bunga, who have picked up probably at least a good amount of ammunition for her to restock. You know, being the ones that is guarding the mountains, one of the top vantage points in the current circle. But now looking into Crater Fields. Now, this is a team that actually meet one another over at the peak, and peak fights are usually so hard to counter fire because all of the weird angles that they get to, you know, pick and scope into. And looking into who has the biggest or the highest pick right now, we can see, I think this is um coming from Luna, who has a
Mm-hmm.
better, greater advantage of things, because we can see they are pretty much composed. And then Grims here, they are pretty much at the middle portion, while there is also someone at the top of them, which is Roy. So this place is pretty much highly populated, even though it's a vantage point. So they're gonna fish out four teams that is gonna be under, and who's gonna get by first. So now looking into Roy, even though being the only one alive for me, wait, she has two persons with, I mean, two people with her. Wait, no, no, no. She was the only one left. So she's trying to do whatever it takes to get all these kill skills from the distance. But she has to be
Ooh.
very, very careful, because any point of time someone decide to spray on her, her team will go back to the lobby because of what happened in the earlier engagement over in Picado, unfortunately, when they clashed.
Yeah, but actually, from what we are seeing here, she's been able to secure one successfully. And if ever that she'll be deciding to go for another, I think that would be quite a bit risky. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's the best thing for her to actually reposition herself. But we're not quite sure what's gonna be running through her mind right now. But at the same time, so far, I think she hasn't been able to be spotted on yet. So I guess that's what matters. And I'm not quite sure, but maybe the vehicle is stuck at the corner. Hopefully not, because that would just mean it would be greatly, it would be much harder for her to actually repositioning herself. But look at this, all of the free fires are just hitting all of the people that she's trying to kill right now.
Yep, and Luna being aggressive, showing off their skill sets, at least for now, after the previous match that they had earlier. So this is something that we are seeing coming out fresh from the teams. Now we are really seeing a fight here coming from the teams. But you know what, Roy? They have to come. She has to come down from that great wall of peak. And coming down to into the current circle. Now looking into AI Huntress being gunned down here by Mata, and Mata wants to do that snipe move, but it did not happen because the angles are being covered here. So she also got herself a great damage. Now trying to do a healing with some of the bandages, guarding the top portion of El Pozo, and that's going to give them enough advantage, because all these teams already realize that hey, somebody is there, we're not going to pick our heads up. So they're going to have a
Mm-hmm.
slow process of finding people around, even though yes, it is an advantage right now, but they already know exactly there's people there, so they won't pop their heads out anywhere.
Yeah, and also even if we are mentioning that, oh, never mind. From the kill feed, there is a lot of eliminations that's currently happening, both from the sides of ESFM as well as ATG Artemis. And so far, it seems like they're just pursuing over what they can actually get here from all the
Woo!
eliminations that they're
Oh my
currently
god.
racking up. But also, it seems like me is already being targeted here by some of the members here from the side of ATG, which is quite
Oh my
bad
god. Oh
to
my
say
god.
it.
It's
Oh
just a little
my.
bit more taps and she would get into explosions. and then she's gonna
Oh
get sprays. No,
no.
she won't make it, Roy. Oh no, she have known better. She should have played a
Too
little bit
bad.
more passive, maybe driving towards the cliffs more than being in the open. Super vulnerable, but that was a good target by ATG Artemis from Philippines. Have a great eye, eagle eye, using all these vantage points that they can get. Currently guarding the perimeters. I like how they actually divided themselves into two portions, one guarding in towards the circle and the other one's just kissing the perimeters. And now looking into team number three, which is of course Juicy as Femi. Femi. I think they met themselves, the same family. This is Mystic versus Juicy. So Mystic did an astonishing job earlier today over in the official event. So
Mm-hmm.
is it even possible for them to show what exactly they are made of? Because they couldn't have shown it early in the previous game. But right now, you know what? What else is showing? The circle. So the circle says, nope, we're not gonna go into the areas of where towards the west side. They're just going to go and focus into crater fields. Now this is a very tricky circle because it's a great drop right beside where Luna is. It's a big drop down, so everybody is going to go to the edge, going to go for the vantage. Now this is how Luna will try to guard their ground.
Yeah, but at the same time, we'll be seeing some eyes already being able to perch up onto them, considering that they might also be the next target. If ever that there'll be some errors in terms of their positioning, and they'll be making themselves vulnerable. Just like what I'm saying right now, it seems like Mika has already been put down here as one of the members here from the side of Mystique. Like what Sis Jenny said, hopefully they'll be able to get some further engagements here that they'll be able to prove themselves, but sadly that will not be the case considering that Nika has already been put down, and hopefully they'll be able to revive their ally that has been downed right now. But the rest of the teams here currently meeting up with each other is going to be Juicy and ATG Artemis, and we'll be seeing some other teams who might actually join the party as well. Seems like Sushi has been able to receive a lot of damage from the grenade that's been thrown near her, and she'll be deciding to get out of that area. Even some stray shots as well. Mad Ladies, just by the kill feed, Frozen isn't able to free someone despite of how hot it is here in the desert.
Yeah, where she's gotta go? They are trapped. Yes, Juicy. They are driving everywhere because they're being gunned down from every angle. Coming from Mystique, coming from AI Huntress. ATG having a fight here with AI Huntress, and also Mata guarding the top. Oh my god, guys, there's a lot of angles here that they gotta cover. They gotta keep smoking in order for them not to get targeted here. But here we go. Kill feed here says that Mystique has spotted somebody on their side. But ATG will try to cut down AI Huntress. They can't show their A game this time. And then Sushi is right at the back. What is going on?
What is going on indeed? There's a lot of teams in this mountain, and the rest of them are about to fall down. Look at this. He is trying to go push forward. It gets not anymore because Sushi will be able to secure it instead. Just gotta patch herself up with a soda, and hopefully she'll be able to do something else. But by the kill, seems like we'll be seeing some further eliminations as well. And there's going to be the time for her to actually be quartered. Like there is a high chance for her to be quartered and not
Ow!
gonna get herself
Oy!
out here alive. And instead, it's going to be Maxi being able to secure her out. That is such of a from a far distance, and she's been able to connect all those shots onto her.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Look at that. Now teams, they have to scavenge themselves all the way into the circle. The circle don't make sense, guys. It's just so hard. You guys get to see the hot drop, or
Yeah.
let's just say the drop that goes all the way down, and the only portion that is being covered here is only Luna getting the edge of that vantage point. Everybody else gotta be the fishes in the waters, or let's just say they are currently the lizards in the deserts, and while the eagles are up there in the mountains trying to look out for one another. But Luna will not be triggered at all. They're keeping their trigger discipline. But here we go, Mata
Ooh.
trying to spot down. Graves goes down back, and the lobby already know exactly what is happening. The reset did not happen for Grims at all, so Mata will bring home that scoreboard here. But AI Huntress will be a Huntress this time and guarding and trying to find where is ATG.
Oh my, I didn't expect that there would be some Cobras in the mix with these Eagles and the Lizards. That's just really unexpected that they were able to secure those kills. But look at this, there are further eliminations happening here from the side of Mata Ladies, and there are a lot of people just falling apart one by one. AI is in a tight position. They're up against Mana Ladies as well, but the rest of the members here from the side of PSFM are trying to counter one another as well. Stella's already pretty low on health, but they're pushing forward. They're going for the close duels. They know that they got the advantage, but still, Bunny's been able to secure one of
Oh!
these Mana Ladies, and now that is a really good trade. And now four more teams surviving here. And Bunny will only be put down here by one of the members here from the side of Mana Ladies, Frozen. They have been frozen in time indeed, and now it's already time for them to go for a cooldown, but I guess not anymore because we'll be seeing Alex being shot here, and one more, she's about to die, but yep, still enough time to patch herself up. Yep, she has been able to survive that.
Oh my god, what is gonna bring Meta down? Meta won't go down about anything. They would just go and keep fighting even from the distance shots. Bro, Meta is crazy. They are able to gun down anybody, even if the threat is right in front of them. In fact, the previous player was using an MK, and that gun is super painful. It's similar to MG3, but of course MG3 is a crazy gun. I'm not comparing that at all. But Bum Bum here, still with three ladies that is still alive, 11 elimination points. How amazing that is. But here we go, we're looking into how are they gonna push, because we only have two teams. They know there's only one player, which is from Mystic. Now
Ooh.
Mystic is showing off their skills. At least this time we are seeing that, hey, they are performing by over on every angle. But
Wow.
winner chicken dinner again for Meta Ladies this time. They managed to come in really clean. You did see how they perform, how they rotated, how they guarded, and this is a winner, a true winner. I would say this is going to be a threat for Astra later, because they previously brought home the
Yeah.
champions, and we get to see Meta with a whole lot of different metas that they are carrying this time, with a good elimination point here. We're looking into 12, and then number two is of course Mystic, with 6 elimination points, and then we've got ATG with 4 elimination points.
Yeah, and actually have the next teams here. It is going to be ES from Luna, which who has been able to garner the fourth place with 2 kills, as well as AI Huntress from Malaysia, who hasn't been able to get any kills but placed 5, and as well as Grims Sapphire getting 3 kills on the 6th place, and as well as Juicy, who's been able to get 3 kills in 7th place. Trapped girls from Myanmar with 0 kills on the 8th place, and 3 kills from me. And even sadly did not advance for our leaderboards and garnered the 9th place.
Man, that was a crazy fight, definitely. But Roy, unfortunately, did not get to fight it off because of that first scrimmage that they had. So hopefully in Sandhawk they get to come back. And because I've been seeing a lot of the fans are coming in to call upon or cheer upon Roy. So definitely this is a team to be fearful of. But unfortunately, again, like DBD, they didn't get to perform. But at
Yeah.
least for Roy, I think I did see a little bit of the colors here. Hopefully in Sandhawk they would come even stronger and show that, hey, this is what we're made of. We are Vietnam representative, and we want to fight it off with the current, I would say, the defending champion for this particular group B, which is Meta Ladies from Thailand.
Oh my, there's going to be such an interesting playoffs for tomorrow, if ever that would be the case, that they'll be
Yeah.
getting into our top 10. And I can't wait to actually see how this specifically unveiled, because once again, a
Mhm.
lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces, but not that we didn't necessarily expect them to perform that well. And I guess we'll be seeing more of that later on to our next map. After we go into our break, we'll be seeing the updated leaderboards for Group B as well. So once again, I am Mochi9 with this Jenny, and we'll be back after a quick short break.